Maybe that's just me being too judgy again, guys. Maybe I'm just a judgmental prick. But to me, there's just no value in that at all. Okay. So, second video like this. And today I'm going to be chatting about isolation and avoiding chaos. So, I kind of first thought of this topic when I was talking to my friend Lauren. Shout out Lauren if she's watching this. And then I knew I was onto something when I said it to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's actually really interesting. I never thought about it like that." Because she's clued in. So I was like, "Okay, cool. I need to think about this topic more." But I really like the term avoiding chaos, and that comes with isolation. At least I think for me, my life's just gotten more and more and more isolated intentionally since leaving school. Obviously, in school, you're around so many people. I mean, I went to an all boys high school, so no girls. Sucked, but I was around a lot of guys all the time. You have bigger friends groups. You're playing sports with different people, so you're just interacting with a lot more people. Um, and I wasn't necessarily against that, but I think as I left school and I got older and my goals got more defined and I knew more of what I wanted for myself, I think isolating myself seemed to be time and time again the correct decision. So that's what I've seemed to do. And, my family, or mostly family, I guess maybe sometimes friends from like school or distant friends or whatever, kind of worry about me at times. And they think like, oh, like all he does is work and go to the gym and he doesn't like see anyone else or hang out with other people. But to me, like that is like a perfect day. Don't get me wrong, there are times when I'm like, I want to make another video on this, but there are times, especially now, 2024, where I'm like, damn, I did wish I had some more friends here in Vancouver. But before this time, I haven't had any free time. Like the whole of last year, I was so busy just trying to make a living and then trying to transition back into doing music full time that I didn't have time for that. That wasn't a priority to me at all. Um, and so that led to me becoming more isolated as I wanted to focus more on my dreams and my goals, and that all involves me sitting at my computer or planning or brainstorming or meditating or going to the gym. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with isolating yourself to become the best version of yourself that you can. I know I'm not super religious. I'm diving into religion more now. I find religion very intriguing. I wasn't brought up religious or anything, but I definitely have a huge fascination in religion. And there's some line from something that says like God isolates his strongest soldiers to turn them into the men that they need to become, or something like that. And I really like that. And I think it's very true. If there's any man who's trying to do something very difficult and very big, it's going to require all of his time and attention for months, for years, maybe even a decade or two. And so that's me. I've always just related to that. I've related to the lone wolf. I've never really enjoyed being in bigger groups of people. And I don't know if part of it is because I have an ego. It could be. But I find I always just find issues with people. Like, I don't know if anyone relating can watch this. Anyone watching can relate to this. But I'll be in a group of people and I'm just seeing flaws. And I'm like, okay, I don't want you around me. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around me. And maybe that's just the type of people I've been around in previous jobs or friend circles, but it's very rare I meet someone and I'm like, I actually want to get to know you more. You actually seem like someone who I want to keep in my life. Very rarely do I ever find that. if ever, maybe once or twice. So, so to me, it's justified, and that's kind of where the avoiding chaos part comes in. Like, I'd rather not have you in my life if you're not the type of person I want in my life. To me, it just makes sense. I'm not just gonna have people around for the fact of having people around. Like, I'm not lonely like that. I don't feel that longing for people around just so that I'm not alone. Like, I'm comfortable being by myself, and I'm comfortable sitting by myself in a room with no one around me. Like, I'm fine to do that. I think maybe a lot of people can't do that, and that's why they always need people around them. But to me, it's like, if you're not a huge asset in my life, I mean, it's not like I said acid. If you're not a huge asset in my life, I don't want you around, bro. I'm sorry. Like, there's just no point. And that's kind of like why I wanted to get out of not the last job I had, but the restaurant job. If you guys watched the last video, you know what I'm talking about. It was another reason I wanted to get out of that, because I'm so easily influenced by maybe influence is the wrong word, affected by my surroundings. So I'm very sensitive, as you guys can see the neck tattoo. I regret that one, but anyway. I'm very affected by my surroundings, so I don't like not being in control of everything in my immediate surroundings. And once again, I don't know if that's a strength or weakness, but it just is. And so in the restaurant, there were a couple things I didn't like. The people I was around, I found it quite low quality of people. No one really trying to do anything big. No one really offering anything insightful. No one that has any drive. They all just want to go out and do drugs on the weekends. And that's obviously chaos that I would want to avoid. That's not something I want to be a part of. Another thing was the easy access to junk food, because there was so many wrong orders, or they would make too many fries, because if it's busy, they're just on the go, just making food. Well, fries. So we have enough fries for every dish. And my job was the expo, taking the food out, so I would always have access to that food. So I'd be eating so many fries, or just anything bullshit. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that temptation was there. Obviously, that was both things are within my control. But you are what you surround yourself with, and you will become you'll become more adapt to the environment that you spend the most amount of time in. So if I had to stay in that job for 10 years, I'd become just like my coworkers. I'd want to go out, do coke on the weekends, eat like shit, complain about life because I don't get paid fairly or whatever the fuck when you're in that situation, bro. So that's one thing, avoiding that chaos. I noticed that, and I was like, I don't want this stuff in my life. Like, this stuff in my life is filling up space in my life that I could use for better things, you know? And so that's the main reason I wanted to get out of that job. It wasn't even like it was terrible work, and I did enjoy the interactions because there was more people my age there. So I did enjoy the brief interactions, but I never wanted to become really close friends with anyone, or like go hang out with someone outside of work, just because I didn't see any value in anyone. And that's, I know it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible to say that, but I don't know, man. It's just the truth. It's just how I felt. It's like the position I was in, and I didn't see anyone that could provide me with value to add to what I'm trying to build up in the life I'm trying to build up for myself. So I don't know. I think also moving across the world was a big part of it. I think people who grew up, which I'm grateful for, because I think people who grew up here in Vancouver probably just have more connections, through school and university and everything. And they feel more obliged to just hang out with people because they've known them for a long time, Even if maybe you're drifting apart as you get older, it's like, oh, well, I've known this dude since I was 8 or 12 or 15, so like, were friends. And I don't have that because I moved here for college, but I only spent like a year in college, plus half of it was online. My class was only 20 people anyway, and I dropped out after a year, so I didn't really have those connections like other people did. And in a way it does upset me because I feel more like I don't have a healthy network here. Because don't get me wrong, I think it is very healthy to have a network of friends who you can hang out with and spend time with. But I'm just very picky with who's in that network, and I want that network. I'm not saying that I want to do what I'm doing forever, but I just haven't found people that I deem valuable enough to keep around. And that's like as simple as it is. And I feel like as my status grows, I'll have access to more people who I might be more interested in keeping around. But I feel like the quality of person that quality of people that I met at my jobs or at college just wasn't the quality of person I want in my life. So, and if you're similar and you feel this, and people are trying to make you feel bad about you being on path and just isolating yourself to really get shit done, like, don't feel bad, bro. Do it. You know what you got to do. And if you're like me, you know when you go out to parties or you go to a get together or you go to a club, you know you just stand there and you're like, what the fuck am I doing here, bro? Like, this is the most stupid thing I could be doing right now. Is wasting my time with people I don't care about for what reason. And it's not for everyone. I know, like, not everyone's like this. Like, a lot of people just like to go out and drink on the weekends or have a good time, and that's fine. It's whatever you feel like is best for you. But I feel like a lot of people just fall into that life and that trap just because everyone else is doing it and they don't want to be left out. And they're like, well, this is just what people do on the weekend, so I'm just gonna go out and get drunk and yeah, dude, try hook up with a girl. And it's like, maybe that's just me being too judgy again, guys. Maybe I'm just a judgmental prick. But to me, there's just no value in that at all. Nothing exciting about that for me. It's so boring, so mundane, so stupid. It's just a waste of time, in my opinion. And so if you're watching this and you feel like I feel like that, but you're struggling because of the people you're around, just isolate yourself, bro. Put yourself in a position where you're avoiding the chaos. I like to think of it like this, like, yes, I'm pursuing my goals. Yes, I'm working really hard and I'm like really aggressively attacking what I want in life. But at the same time, avoiding chaos has to come before that. It's kind of like a precursor. Like, I can't put myself in a position for success if I'm not avoiding the chaos that certain situations in life bring. So I need to isolate myself to avoid that chaos, to then be in the right mind state and position to attack what I want. I don't feel like I can do it when there's all this noise and all these things going on and people need me here and they want me to go out with them there, and I can't do it, bro. It's no. Maybe that's just because I'm a very like all or nothing person. I think I am a very all or nothing person, but well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but with certain things. But that's just how I feel. Like, yeah, I need that. I need to have avoided the chaos first and then be in a position to where I can actually attack what I want in life. So, yeah, man, I think that's probably it for this little rant. I don't think it's as long as the first video, but I'm just going to keep these videos however long I want to make them. No time frame required, no talking points required. I'm just getting on here and it's like a little diary, a little weekly video of whatever I want to talk about. So, yeah. That's the topic of avoiding chaos. And I think it's very important for anyone in a position like me who really wants to achieve big things. Um, and don't feel bad about it, you know? I said I'd fix that last time and I forgot. My screen goes black and then stops the recording. But yeah, that was, yeah, avoiding chaos. And for anyone like me, it's important. And don't feel bad about it, bro. If you're in my position, don't feel bad about it. And yes, people are going to think you're weird. People are going to assume that, well, they might assume, I haven't really got this, but they might assume that you're like lower status, especially in the beginning when you first start doing this, because you're choosing not to hang out with people, and then it looks like no one wants to hang out with you. Just let it happen, bro. It doesn't matter. You know what you're building, you know what you're doing, and who cares what people think anyway, bro? Like, it makes no difference, especially if they're people you don't even want around. So, but if it's your family, obviously that's different. Like, I just have to like reassure my family, like, guys, I'm fine. I promise. I promise I'm fine. But having said all of that, a big goal for me this year, with a lot of free time that I have that I didn't have last year, is to try and find people who I want around. Like I said, it's not like I want to be like this forever. It's just that I haven't found the people that I want in my life. So a big thing this year is trying to find people that I want around and that can actually add to my life and what I'm doing. So that's, yeah, that's a little thing I want to focus on this year. That's not business related or, you know, grind related. So maybe I'll let you know how that goes. Let y'all know how that goes, like at the end of the year or something. But yeah, don't feel bad, bro. Do you? And my DM's always open if anyone feels like they want to talk about the topics that I talk about in these videos, like this one. Especially if you're earlier on in the journey than me, like I've been doing this for years and years. So I'm always here, bro. And keep doing you. Avoid the chaos.